Okay, the second video, this is to do with actually doing the same statistics calculations, but now on an FX991. This is the ClassWiz type, not allowed in IGCSE, but it should be fine for A level. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find all the data fairly quickly. The advantage with the Casio, this type of screen, is all these values will appear on one screen. It does also give you quartiles and medians, but the techniques it uses are not really suitable for using with the Edexcel exam. So we'll get booting up into a normal mode first. Next part, we need to change it over to work with data statistics. And that's this option number 6. Come down to it, see the title. We've got statistics. There is a second thing that's needed, which is the distribution stuff that we will do later in the year. But for the moment, we're just dealing with statistics. So go option 6. We've got an option list. So we've got one variable, linear, polynomial, logarithmic. Further down, you also get exponentials, power series, and reciprocal curves. Like we discussed in the other video, if you watched it, the data we're dealing with is time spent, minutes. We've only got a single variable of data, so there's no relationship we're looking at. We're just considering this one value. So we're doing one variable calculations, so a 1. And what we actually get, if you look at it, is we get a single value. Now, personally, I always set my calculators up so that I can do tables of values, because we've got frequencies here. I need a frequency in this table. And on this calculator, go to option. Scroll down. Sure, it's an option. Option 3. No options. No, it's not in setup, is it? Yes, it's in setup. Sorry, shift in setup. On the second page, statistics is option 3, and I want to turn the frequency on. That means I can put in an X value and a frequency and get my table to, or the calculator to do my calculations for me. So type in the values we've got. We've got 35, 36, 37, 38. And then we go back and change all the frequencies to the frequencies in the table. So we've got 3, 17, 29, and 34. And like with the other calculators, to tell it that you've finished editing your data, you do something which is a little bit uncomfortable. You press the AC cancel button. And now it comes back, and you are being told that you're in statistics one variable mode. To be able to get the values out, you do just the option button. One variable calculation, number 2. And here, if you can see them, in fact, I'll make the zoom this in a bit more. Take it all screen. If you can see in here, we do actually get the numbers. It's a little bit fine for this calculator in this time. But at the top here, we've got our mean, 37.13. We have the total sum of x, 3082. We also have the sums of squares, 114,504. And then the other value they need, the standard deviation, come further down the list, sigma 0.861. There is also the, again, above that, you've also got the variance, the sigma squared of x. There's your variance of 0.741. Which I think we calculated. There we are, variance 0.741. On the second page, you also get the standard deviation from a set of data, rather than a sample of the data, and that's 0.866. That comes about from doing, from this standard variable calculation, rather than dividing by n to give us the standard deviation for a population, which is what we're using, and it's perfectly acceptable for the exam. The second division here is going to be of n minus 1. And it gives you a little bit of inaccuracy. It's saying we think the data is inaccurate. And effectively, it turns around and says, if you've got a sample of 1 piece of data, you cannot say anything about the distribution. It gives you an infinity. you get an infinity here and here. So it turns around and says you can't do anything. At the bottom, you also get the quartiles. These are quartiles based upon which grouping they're in, not necessarily by doing the interpolation method that we've used. Okay, so that's quicker introduction to using the calculator for doing the calculation.